Hey, how you doing? It's me again. Out taking a little walk down the beach. Got some gorgeous weather today. Still, it's a little chilly. I had to put a sweatshirt on. Wasn't sure how to dress for this thing today. Top of the hill, it seemed like you could run around in nothing but a t-shirt. But down here by the water, boy, they think probably had 10-degree dip. Oh. Not been much going on in my world, just kind of chilling, talking to people around the neighborhood. We've had a pretty good stretch of weather. Been working in the yard. And yeah, other than that, not much. The news, no different than it's been. I don't see it changing in any time in the near future, not till the politics all get fired up and get everybody going. But in my life, everything's great. I haven't got anything to complain about in my personal life. Seems to be doing well. I get kind of a little frustrated in the art world right now because of things. The costs are getting so prohibitive on everything, and most of the paints and things like that now all come out of China, and the prices are going sky high on all those supplies, and, well, everything. Grocery store, holy moly. That thing, well, I already had a comment the other day on donuts. They're decreasing the size of what you're buying and increasing the price from what you used to get. So you get half as much for twice as much. So we're in definitely some kind of a, I don't know when they do the addition on the economy and how we are doing, what time of year they take that. I'm sure it's going to be sometime before the election. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's not very enlightening. Ooh, that's interesting. A rock here that is, looks like it's been cut with a saw. It is a wedge. Piece of granite. Huh. Yeah. Anyway. So it's, yeah, the economy, not good. The banks are what's got me worried. They're really doing some strange things that they haven't done before, and it's kind of like got me wondering what the heck is happening here. Because it's a lot like back right before, probably in 2007, 2008, and they're doing all those same things, and everything is kind of lining up in the same way it did back then before everything kind of collapsed. It was 2008 when we lost the house, and that was a memorable deal because I think we had it for what, a year and a half or 2 years is all, and that economy, everything crashed, and the mortgage we had was adjustable rate, and all of a sudden it just went nuts. And then the taxes at the same time almost doubled on the house, and it was because they had misevaluated it the first time around, and then came back and wanted back taxes on all kinds of stuff. So anyway, that 2008 was something memorable in my life, and now I see that they're going to do it again. And the thing that I'm watching is that the fact the economy is in the dumper, we know there's a reason for that. But then again, Yeah, I'm gonna start walking the other way. Maybe not be good. Uh, but the thing that I was watching was that part about the banks and being too big to fail. So the more I studied it, the more I found that they were purposely writing all these loans for people who they knew wouldn't be able to cover them should anything happen. They didn't have enough income to fall back on, and it was just not a good deal for the mortgage people, or the people taking out the loans, buying the houses, but they didn't realize it. We had been in this economy where everything was booming, and so then we I think I'm going to see if I can turn this again. Okay, maybe you can see something now. The sun was at my back, shining right in the lens. So anyway, you had subprime mortgages getting bought up by everybody, and the bank was doing things like one of the things they did with us. We had gone in with the assumption that our real estate taxes and insurance was all being taken out with the monthly payment, and turns out they didn't have insurance, or they didn't even check to see if we had insurance. We had it, but it was still it was mortgage insurance, cover their ass, not mine. So we had all that, but when everything went down, the banks got bailed out, and they also had taken out big insurance policies on these subprime mortgages. So they were like basically setting up the market for themselves, which, yeah, who's surprised? That it's nothing new. Well, right now they're playing around with commodities. You got these bankers complaining about all this stuff, but because they're all invested so heavily into the mutual fund markets and whatnot, all the retirement plans and all this other stuff, corporate stuff, that they're playing fast and loose. I mean, on the crap table, they'd say you're playing the dark side because you're betting against the house. And if you're the house and you're betting against yourself, I would guess that's probably how Donald Trump bankrupted casinos that he owned, and nobody else has ever been able to do that because he was stealing right out of the till on his own company. That doesn't make good sense, especially if he had more than one casino. So it's just that whole thing is happening again. They're playing short selling on gold and silver, manipulating the market. And it appears like there are other agencies that are playing in that too. So the stack, it's always stacked against us. No matter what side we're on, we're going to get the downside of the whole thing. So I guess that's probably the only thing I got that's really been bugging me, because I've been stocking up on silver. It hit 120, and then at precisely the right moment, the banks put in, I forget how many billions of dollars into silver purchasing, and they did a short sale on them, on silver and on gold, and it dropped off of 120 all the way down to, I think it was 69. And right at the very last moment on Monday, they bought at 69. So on a short sale, they bought at 69 and sold at 120. Damn good profit. Very risky, because had it gone up instead of down, they would have had a margin call on them, and they would have not been able to cover it, or they would have, but it would have cost them a lot of money. But that whole thing is that the next time they did it, and they've been doing it repeatedly, it was already down. It had come back up to about the mid 70s or low 70s, and they did it again. And they're doing this on the weekends. And that trend is something I also saw with the Bitcoins and those cryptocurrencies. They were manipulating that also the same way back, what was that, 3-4 years ago, causing it every weekend. It was just, just finally said, oh yeah, it's just Monday, everything's going to crash. And sure enough, on by Friday, they'd have it all climbing again, and it'd build up higher and higher because they keep buying it, and they're buying it on the way up, making it rise. But then when they get to a certain level, usually on Sunday, when everything's shut down, and then they turn around and do a short sale on it and cause the whole market to now collapse. So everything comes collapsing down, and then when it gets down again to where they want it, then they buy it. Once again, buy low, sell high. That's what it's all about, right? When you're going down on one of these short sells, the risk is much, much higher. And I'm a craps player, and I like playing the dark side, so I don't mind playing with the house. But you got to know when to switch and get back in line. But you can lose it fast or win fast. And the same with these commodities market. It's nothing but a craps game. So as far as everything going with the economy, I think they're stacking the deck to collapse it again, because they always come out smelling like a rose every time it goes down. And yeah, what I'm seeing is just more of the same. So if you are holding silver, I would hang on to it right now, because when this all starts falling apart, the biggest thing with silver is that they haven't got any silver to cover the sales that are on the futures market. And when they can't fill the orders on paper orders, that price of silver has to go up. Well, it should have already, because they've already messed up on a couple of orders, but now the government's stepping in and manipulating that price to keep it right there at low 70s. They don't want any ups and downs that are going to cause short sales and whatnot. And that makes people want the silver, because commodities people, they don't tend to take the actual silver. They just want to play the market like the casino. And then when it comes time to cash out, they take dollars. So the silver, it's irrelevant to them, because it's just playing the market. You know, you don't have the physical silver, you have it on paper. Well, the last couple of go-rounds, people are seeing things happening on the economy, and then the Iran war. Now people are wanting that silver, and they haven't got it. They're out of stock, and nobody's selling. They're all buying. So it's the market is not behaving the way it should. Something from the outside is manipulating it. So, yeah, that's just something else coming at us. They're also talking about wiping out the national debt. Great. Go ahead, but there's a lot of funds that are being financed by the bonds, and those funds are going to be worthless if they do that, I would think, unless they got some other plan, the Fed. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but nothing has since 1980. So anyway, yeah, it's another day, another dollar. Beautiful day on the island. I wish you were here. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later.